Hi, everybody. I am so sorry that I cannot be joining you in person for the presentation. However, I tested positive for COVID-19. So far, my symptoms are pretty mild, but I figured I'd rather stay safe and I have to quarantine until Friday. Anyway, let's talk about some unexpected events that happened during the simulation. The first was our competitors' pricing strategies. So we were kind of expecting a price war, but at the same time, I think our competitors dropped prices a little bit lower than what we were expecting. And maybe this had something to do with them not having as high of profit that we did. However, I think we were able to predict and match our pricing pretty well. Now, another unexpected event that happened were our production investments and how many we should make. I think that we, at the beginning, invested a lot in contract manufacturing and not as much in in-house R&D. So I think if we were to do it again, we would probably end up researching a lot more in-house, so that way our costs would have been cheaper. Now, another unexpected event was the whole factories and factoring buying. So we didn't want to buy new factories, and we were pretty hesitant because of the demand. It seemed that the demand was in a downward slope the majority of the simulation. Now, if you did notice, we had 20 factories in the US and about 6 in Asia, I'm pretty sure. Now, if we were to do it again, we probably would have put most of our factories in Asia and maybe less in the US just because of prices being cheaper in Asia. However, we kind of were just fiddling with whatever kind of factories would meet demand. And we did know that we wanted to dominate most of the US. So we did put a lot of factories in the US initially. Now, another unexpected event is just-in-time production and the way that penalties affected us. So we ended up trying to meet the sweet spot between how much we should be making to meet our demand and adding a little bit of extra cushion just in case we underestimate demand. I think most of our rounds in the simulation, we did underestimate demand quite a bit. But we did try to add a cushion a little bit more towards the end, not as much at the beginning, to help our demand be met, because we did notice at the beginning that a lot of our demand wasn't being met. And so in order to capture that unmet segment on the market and steal it from our competitors, we started to add a little bit of a cushion. Now, it was tricky because, again, we did see penalties for overproduction, and we wanted to make sure that we did not make a whole lot more. So we focused on looking at our projections and seeing what would cause profit for our projections for the following round. So next is tariffs and transfer pricing. Now, transfer pricing was a mystery pretty much for us the entire game. Really, our specialty was to just fiddle with it until it created profit in our projections. Now, Alyssa was really great at this. Shout out to Alyssa. She did wonderful on figuring out transfer pricing, and we did end up making mostly profit. I think round 4 was the trickiest for our transfer pricing just because of the demand and the market outlook. However, we did end up seeing profit and were able to use our transfer pricing wisely.